Smackdown review for the January 10th episode of Smackdown. I'm Will, that's Brandon. We are the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. As always, let's cheers. Talk about some wrestling, huh?
Yeah, Portland, Oregon. The Tiffany Stratton era has officially begun. And we would find out later, we would get a little bit of a celebration for her.
We would. But it started out with the Wise Man.
Mm-hmm.
The Wise Man, he was giddy. He was very giddy because on Monday night, of course, Mr. Roman Reigns took back the Ula Fala. And he became the tribal chief, I guess. And he said that he's very happy. He goes, there is now only one reigning, defending tribal chief, and that is Mr. Roman Reigns. And he has authorized me to tell you all what he tends to accomplish next here in the WWE. But he says he wanted to share this not just with the entire world and all of us at home, but with one man and one man only. The reigning, undisputed WWE champion, Mr. Cody Rhodes, and he invites Cody Rhodes out to the ring. And we're all sitting there like, damn, okay. And Cody Rhodes, he comes out. We whoa and everything. We got a lot of woes tonight, by the way. A lot of woes tonight. But he comes out, they shake hands. Cody Rhodes now shakes hands with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman goes, you deserve all these cheers that you get. You've done something that most people do not do. You've earned Roman Reigns' respect. You are a great champion. And Roman has asked me to ask you that now that he has reclaimed the Ula Fala and become the tribal chief, Roman wants his title back. But he doesn't just want his title back in a match. He wants me to let you know how he's going to get that title back. And that is, he will be entering the Royal Rumble match. So Roman Reigns is entering the Royal Rumble. And he looks at Cody and he goes, so, Mr. Cody Rhodes, what do you want to talk about? And when Cody grabs the mic and puts it up to his mouth, Kevin Owens, his voice comes from the crowd and he's pissed off. He's coming from the ramp in the crowd and he's yelling. He's like, I want to talk about how you always get worse. I didn't think you'd get worse, but now you're sitting here shaking hands with The Rock. You're shaking hands with Paul Heyman. If you let Roman Reigns get the title back, forget about your betrayal of me. You will be betraying all of the WWE. And Cody Rhodes doesn't have time to even say a word. He just turns around, bolts into the crowd. He starts to attack Kevin Owens. They go all up into back up the stairs where you can't even see them, back into like the arena, I guess. And Paul Heyman's sitting there watching like a giddy little fan. And you see in the back of him, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga have swarmed him in the ring. So he turns around like, shit, I got these guys to deal with again. He's pleading and begging in the corner for them not to get mad. But Mr. Jimmy Uso isn't going to let the Wise Man take that. So he runs out and he starts super kick galore everybody. He's super kicking Tama Tonga. He's super kicking Jacob Fatu. He goes out and gets a chair. He tries to hit Tama Tonga with it, and he does. He goes to hit Jacob Fatu with it, and he does. But Jacob Fatu goes, oh, wait, I'm Jacob Fatu. That doesn't hurt. So he turns around. He gets real mad. He starts beating up Jimmy Uso, and he puts Jimmy in the corner and puts a chair over his neck, and looks like they're going to cause some real damage. But Cody's back at this point. I guess he did his work on Kevin Owens. I don't know. He punched him a good amount and he's good. So he rushes back to the ring and he ends up kind of throwing Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu out of the ring. They do get a nice little face off, him and Fatu. After the match, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga are like being escorted out, or after the match, after the segment, they're being like escorted out of the arena. Nick Aldis is like kicking him out and LA Knight shoves him out the door. So that was a little something as well, but a lot to unpack here. So I'm going to go ahead and just pop this whole opening segment to start it.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this with a caveat. I mean, we get the Roman Reigns in the Rumble. I think everybody kind of wanted that or knew that was going to happen. So you finally get that. Not really excited about the potential or the hinted at Cody Roman again. A little bit worn out of that. And I think most people probably are. A little bit kind of like, dang, we have to put Cody back in the Bloodline stuff again. I really liked it when, even though Kevin's right about the Bloodline stuff, like that was all in the past, you could have just separated it and really let Kevin and Cody kind of stand on their own. I would have liked that. So for me, Kevin kind of saved this again with his promo work tonight. Another really good promo from Kevin. And that's going to be the reason I popped this.
Yeah, I'm with you. The idea of Cody and Roman going again back to back years at WrestleMania doesn't sit very well with me. I'm just kind of like, of course I want that to happen down the road, but do we need it to be in literally 3 straight WrestleManias? I don't think so. I like that Roman Reigns isn't just coming back and demanding a championship match, because it would be really easy to do that. Like, we used to have the days of when you lost a title, you have a rematch clause. That seems to just be thrown around whenever they want to do it now. And this could have been a situation where WWE just penciled that back in, right? Like, oh, I had a rematch clause, but I had family business to settle first. And now that's over. Now I want my rematch. So I'm glad they didn't do that. Roman Reigns being in the Royal Rumble with a John Cena, with Drew McIntyre, with all these other people is something to be really interested in. So it's going to be fun to watch. And I like this entire thing, really.
Yeah, I think the only thing for me, at least, is I get nervous about Roman potentially winning the Rumble. But I think the only thing that maybe saves that is that Punk Heyman favor. I think that Punk could maybe say, hey, give up Roman's title shot at Mania. Maybe that's how you do that. Maybe that's how you do that. And that would be okay with me. But like right off, just surface looking at it, Roman winning the Rumble, I'd be like, oh, God, not again, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. We get right into it, though. Women's U.S. title match. Miss Chelsea Green is defending her U.S. title against Miss Michin. And it's something to note. She comes out in like red, white, and blue gar. And Piper, her teammate, is dressed as like a security.
Like a Secret Service. Yeah.
Like a Secret
Service.
Earpiece
and everything.
It was just, I like that.
Yeah. Very, very like small thing, but it was good. I like that.
Michin starts hot. Michin and Chelsea Green have chemistry. We've seen them fight multiple times before. These two just have chemistry. Chelsea does an absolutely phenomenal job of making Michin look like a great wrestling talent. She's I don't know about potential star, but she has really solidified herself as being like a really great mid-card women's wrestler. And it's great to see. But she would start out hot until they would spill out to the outside of the ring, and then Chelsea would start using the barricade. And of course, Piper Niven is there. Chelsea would own the entire mid-match. That was picture-in-picture commercial break. I like Netflix a little bit better. But Michin would obviously do a comeback. She'd do a drop kick. She was twerking in the ring. She was getting all kind of cocky, rolling cannonball to the corner of Chelsea Green. She'd go to the apron, rolling cannonball off the apron to Piper Niven. So she's fought Chelsea and Piper before. So it's nice to see that like she knows that she has to get rid of all sides of the battle in order to have a chance here. But she would eventually, at the end of her comeback, she'd get to the top rope, go for a top rope cross body on Chelsea Green. And Chelsea would catch her and roll into the crossbody and roll up Michin. 1, 2, 3. She gets the pin here. Chelsea Green defeats Michin. Good first title defense for Chelsea Green. It lets Michin stay. She didn't just get whooped here, right? She looks strong. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with them doing it this way because you want to keep Michin looking strong in this division. I'm going to give this a pop.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this as well. First match of the night. First match of the Chelsea Green era here, as you said, defending her title. Went just about as I thought this match would go. I thought both of them looked good. Both of them played their part really well. We had a little bit of pushback in our chat about Chelsea winning off of a roll-up. I don't have a problem with it because like it fits Chelsea's character that she kind of just barely gets away with stuff or skin of her teeth. She, capitalizes on stuff. So you just keep continuing that. We knew there was no way Chelsea Green was losing this match. So good first title defense. Nothing crazy, but did the job.
There really wasn't much to write home about. Solid match. Got a winner. Good stuff. Mm-hmm. We would get a little backstage segment where all the tag teams want title matches. That's kind of SmackDown's thing. All the tag teams are always entitled to their tag team matches. So Mr. Nick Aldis, who had himself a very good night as a general manager, he decided to go, well, there's 4 tag teams that want title shots. So how about we do 2 tag teams against each other twice? Winners will face each other, and then we'll get ourselves the number 1 contender. And so that's what happened. We get Legado del Fantasma, or Los Garzas, basically, is who it was, taking on Pretty Deadly in the first tag team match. But Pretty Deadly would not wait for them to be done with their entrance. They would attack quick, but then immediately the Garzas would take advantage of that and basically do all their suicide dives, all the fun stuff that you normally see from that stuff. But Garza's would be dominating until Elton Prince would distract the ref and pull one out by his hair, and we go into commercial break with that. We come back, and Prince is dominating the ring. He is a great talent. He's definitely the star of the Pretty Deadly here. But eventually, Angel would get a hot tag, and he would absolutely take over. He'd do his own top rope crossbodies. People were doing that all night. But Kit gets back in the ring, and there's a point where Angel has him against the rope, and he's kind of choking him out with the rope, and the ref's counting, and he starts begging for DIY's help. He's like, DIY, where are you? Where are you? Come help, come help. And we're all sitting here in our stream and everything. We're like, what the hell? Why is he doing that? Well, DIY does not come out to help.
No.
He comes back in, and all hell starts breaking loose again. Elton Prince and Kit, they now have the advantage. Elton Prince is at the top rope. Elektra Lopez hops on the top rope and distracts the ref. We get a kickoff, and then we get this huge MTY slam from the Garzas to Kit. 1, 2, 3. Garzas win. Phantasmo, whatever their name is. They get the win here. This match was short, sweet. A lot of tag team fun when they both came out. Us and our chat we were both like, oh, what are we gonna do here? Ended up being a fun time. I'm gonna pop it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop this as well. Like you said, didn't really have like a lot of expectations. They weren't set really high for this. Two tag teams that have kind of struggled to find their way. Two tag teams you don't really get a lot of time in, or don't really get a lot of wins, admittedly. But this match was really good. I thought it was fast-paced. I thought it showed what both sides could do. The MTY finisher I thought was really cool at the end. I really liked that. Los Garzas get the win here, and I'm not upset about it. You know, I don't think I really would have cared either way. Later on, we find out about Pretty Deadly and what that kind of meant, so that makes sense why they lost.
Yeah, we can get into that now. So they go to the back later on in the night, and they're kind of, Pretty Deadly's limping, and they're like, where the hell were you guys? We needed your help. And Ciampa is basically like, we're not here to help you. While Gargano is pulling off this like friendly facade with Pretty Deadly. And he's like, no, you guys are totally going to get your title shot down the line. It's okay that there were too many eyes on us tonight. So it looks like DIY and Pretty Deadly are working together under the table. Where that's going, I don't know, but
yeah, I don't know. And then at the end, Apollo Crews comes in and says you shouldn't trust those guys. I don't know why he showed up randomly, but you got to listen to Apollo here. Like, yeah, you shouldn't really trust those guys, and I don't know why you would agree to that. And I don't know, it was just that seemed pretty kind of unneeded. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care about it.
I don't know. I don't really know where that's going. I don't really have much to say on it now, but something to look out for. Apollo Crews is telling them don't, and Pretty Deadly is trusting DIY for some reason. Mm-hmm. Another title match, though. We get LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura for that United States Championship. And we'd have Shinsuke starting absolutely hot. He was to the point where he was no-selling chops from Knight. Like LA Knight was just chopping away, and he was no selling. So that's Shinsuke is looking strong, basically. Eventually, though, LA Knight would get him out to the announce table and start doing the where he slamming Shinsuke's head into the announce table. Slam, yeah. We all love it. You know what I mean? Shinsuke would send Knight into the ring post, though, twice, getting him into a point where he dominates the entire commercial break. Picture in picture once again. So a lot of that. LA Knight would do his patented comeback, his LA Knight elbow drop, all the good stuff. But Shinsuke would recover and get his own comeback. And LA Knight rolled him out of the corner one time, and Shinsuke removed the middle turnbuckle when he did it. There's an exposed turnbuckle, which we all know means there's trouble a-coming. But LA Knight would go up and do his hop up superplex to LA Knight or to Shinsuke Nakamura. He was getting everything in. They would do this. He would do a reverse Boston Crab to Shinsuke, and then Shinsuke would get like an arm bar in there. They were trading submissions. Really ramped up at the end. Shinsuke would miss a Kinshaw. LA would miss a BFT, and then Shinsuke would hit a Kinshaw, and then but LA Knight's foot would be on the rope. I know I'm kind of fumbling over my words here. A lot was happening in these little moments. But Shinsuke would eventually try to use the exposed turnbuckle. He'd take LA Knight over and put his head on it, and he would go for a Kinshaw on the exposed turnbuckle, but LA Knight would miss. Hit the BFT. And then during the pin, Jacob Fatu, the man that LA Knight kicked out of the arena earlier, and Tama Tonga, they show up. They immediately attack LA Knight in the middle of the ring. Ding, ding. LA Knight wins. Shinsuke retains with champion's advantage. But they're doing everything to him. They attack LA Knight. They do the corner butt thing. They do the moonsault, all of Jacob Fatu's patented moves here. But Cody and Jimmy would run out, and they would super kick fest at Fatu and Tama Tonga again, throw him over the barricade. But now Nick Aldis is out here, and he's like, what the hell? And Cody Rhodes gets a mic before Nick can say anything and goes, don't kick him out of the arena. Don't kick him out of the arena. They're here, we're here, so tonight I want a match. And we would get that as the main event, Cody Rhodes and Jimmy taking on Fatu and Tama Tonga. But in terms of the LA Knight Shinsuke Nakamura match, this was fun. I'm going to give it a pop and I'm going to give it a drop. I like the match, especially the last like 5, 6, 7 minutes, ramped up like crazy. It was awesome. But man, it feels like a cheap way to end this feud. I'm not a big fan of Fatu and them just running in there, and it just feels like Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga are kind of everywhere, and they were just kind of thrown. Like, it felt like WWE before the show was like, how do we end this match without any of these guys losing steam in a logical way? And they were just like, we'll throw Fatu out there, I guess. And to me, that just doesn't make enough logical sense. So I'm dropping the way they did it.
I'm popping it. I don't have any problem with the way they did it. I don't think this is the end of it. I think you run this back at a Saturday night, probably. That kind of makes the most sense because there's no matches for that Saturday night main event. So why not throw this out there? They both looked really strong throughout. You have LA basically so close to winning, but obviously he pushed Jacob and Tama Tonga out. So that's enough reason. You also go back to when Bloodline 2.0 came out and Shinsuke like bit that blood capsule and started like bleeding everywhere. So there's like some sort of like history or like respect or something between them, I guess you can maybe say. Didn't really have any problem with it. It is fine. Just kind of continues it to whenever Shinsuke does get that final win.
If you think that LA Knight and the Shinsuke stuff is going to continue, do you want LA Knight to eventually get the U.S. title back, or should we just keep this on Shinsuke Nakamura and move LA Knight to other places, maybe even Raw?
Yeah, I would just keep him, or I would keep the title on Shinsuke, and then I would move him to wherever, or whoever, I should say. I don't really care kind of what they do. I think it would be nice to kind of have a switch up for LA Knight, but at the same time, like, Shinsuke needs something, and if he gets a loss already, you've built such a good job of him coming back, and I like his new character. I think a lot of people do. Give him this and just kind of have him keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I want Shinsuke to keep the title, but then again, it's like, well, there's no upwards movement for LA Knight, so I feel like if they're going to keep the title on Shinsuke, you can't have LA Knight exist in the SmackDown realm. Like, he'd have to go over to Raw because he can't go after Cody, and he's not going to drop down and do nothing, so, like, you just have him fight Shinsuke for eternity, no. So I would move LA Knight over to Raw and get him feuding with Braun Breaker and stuff like that. That'd be awesome. He could even go after Gunther. That's a good little feud too. So I'd like to see that.
Yeah, you could pencil him in, and everybody, like, I don't think many people would really have a problem with that. You know what I mean? You can just
100%.
pencil that in, and you obviously know LA is not going to win, but you could at least have that.
Yeah.
It'd be entertaining.
Second tag team match of the night, the other side of the fake bracket, I guess, that was set up. It was Motor City Machine Guns taking on A-Town Down Under. Back and forth to begin. All four of these guys are crazy ass athletic in the ring, and there was a lot of complicated nonsense. So I'm not going to try to explain it into as much detail as I normally do because I just would be fumbling over my words and not be doing it justice, okay? But A-Town Down Under would actually dominate most of this match. They were kind of outsmarting Motor City Machine Guns. Like, there was even a point where Motor City got the advantage, and they were going to go do their, like, double suicide dives, but Austin Theory caught one and Waller dodged the other. It's just like they've been watching them and they understand it. I love that kind of wrestling. I like when you're watching your competition, you learn from them and you know their moves. It makes sense. But we get a lot of good stuff from Sabin and Shelley. Obviously later they would do like double baseball slide drop kicks to both of them. Theory would stop all the momentum and they would do double elbows to Sabin. So Theory and Waller at the same time would give a nice little double elbow to Sabin. 1-2 gets broken up by Shelley, but all hell would break loose toward the end of the match. They'd be Everybody was trying to roll each other up, drop kick galore. In Motor City Machine Guns, of course, at this point, start doing all their patented tag team maneuvers that are just absolutely insane. If you haven't watched these guys, please watch them. They're great. Enjoy them while they're in the WWE while we do it. But at the very end of the match, they would hit the skull and bones onto Austin Theory, and Motor City Machine Gun would get the victory. So they will go and face the Garzas next week. I mean, it's not announced, but they're going to face them in the near future, and winner will go on to face DIY. We probably all know where that's going to end up. But this match was fun as can be, man. Tag team wrestling is pretty dang good on SmackDown. I like it. Pop.
Yeah, I'm popping this as well. One of my big things for 2025 was more of an emphasis on tag team wrestling, and so this episode of SmackDown made me really happy.
Yeah.
At least from that side of things. Really enjoyed it. Motor City is obviously fantastic. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are also really good. I think a lot of people like them. You get the win here for Motor City. Not much else needs to be said. We think that they are going to feud with DIY eventually, whenever that comes around. Waller and Theory, we just keep stacking up those losses for them. So maybe they're they hinted at it earlier in the night, at least. Maybe they're a transfer portal as well. Maybe they go over to Raw.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Yeah, it's time. You could ship A-Town down under and the Street Profits over to Raw. I'd be completely okay with it. Just completely refresh the Raw division, break up Judgment Day, have the War Raiders fight A-Town, have them fight Street Profits. I'd be totally down with all that.
We haven't even seen Street Profits for a while.
Yeah, they better be on Raw.
I mean, they haven't even, since they got attacked out of that match and they got screwed out of their title match, they have not been on TV.
Nope.
They've just been gone.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see you on Raw, Street Profits. Tiffany Stratton did something pretty big last week. She won herself a championship. Since we didn't have a review last week because I was selfishly in Germany, I'm giving her my props now. Congratulations, Miss Stratton. But it's time to celebrate because it is Miss Tiffy time. She comes out disappointed right away because it's the same belt.
No pink strap.
No pink strap. Everybody in the world was speculating this week whether or not they would do something special with her and give her some pink strap on that title, and I was kind of looking forward to that, but we didn't get it. Byron Saxton's with her in the ring, and he congratulates her, and he explains how she won. She takes the mic, and she goes, "It's Tiffy time." What a Tiffy, she said, what a Tiffy turn of events. She goes, "I'm 25, and I'm better than everyone that you fans love." She goes, "Nia didn't bully me. I got her to trust me. She thinks I was stupid. Well, who is stupid now? I let her think that she was stupid so that I could steal that title. I'm at the Tiffy top." And Nia Jax, obviously, she didn't like that. So she comes out and she goes, "You ungrateful little shit." That's from the horse's mouth right there. Uh-huh. She goes, "I could kill you." It's like, damn.
Yeah.
This is Netflix?
Not happy.
No, not happy. You made a fool out of me. You're nothing without me. I made you. She starts to go to the ring and she goes, "It's Tiffy time, huh?" She pipes the crowd up and then she looks at Tiffy and goes, "Time's up." And when that happens, Bayley comes out. Bayley comes out.
The music hits first of all, and we're like, who the hell is this?
Yeah, she get Bayley new music.
No clue.
But she goes, "Ding dong, Nia, shut up." I was like, damn, oh no. I'll preface all this. It sounds kind of fun, what I'm saying. Go watch this yourself. Oh my, it's the most scripted entertainment I've ever heard in my life. Like, I'm not trying to hate, really, but this stuff was them reading off a piece of paper. It did not sound natural at all from any of these people. Ding dong, Nia, shut up. Great plan, Tiff. For a second, I thought you were actually stupid, but now I know that Nia is a stupid one because Tiff, you outsmarted her. And she goes, "The only reason why Nia even won the championship in the first place was because of you, Tiff. So I feel like it's my turn to come get my title back." And when that happens, Naomi and Bianca come out. Mm-hmm. They come out. They're mad too. Naomi takes the microphone. She goes, "I had Nia beat last week if it wasn't for Tiffany. So I should fight Tiff." And when that happens, they all start fighting in the ring. Except for Tiff.
Yep, she dips out of there.
She dips out of the ring, and they're all fighting and skirmishing. But then Tiff climbs rolling back up into the ring. She does a Tiffy moonsault to everybody in the ring. And Nick Aldis comes out. And now Nick Aldis is like, he's being GM today. And he goes, "You know what? Do you guys all want a shot? We'll do a fatal 4-way #1 contenders match right now." Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, that was really nice. It's really nice to hear. Before we get into the match, I am dropping all this. When you read it, it sounds like it was a fun time, and it was, but the way all these lines were delivered and stuff, something was just off tonight with this segment. Like, I can't really explain it. Go watch it for yourself. Do Tiffy Celebration on YouTube or something, but this was off to me. I didn't like it. I'm dropping it.
Yeah, you kind of have to drop this.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that kind of would like it. For as excited as we are about Tiffany's reign coming up, it's very clear that she's going to have to work on the promo a little bit.
Yes.
Then you have Nia's. I thought Nia's honestly wasn't terrible.
Best.
Nia had some real, you could at least feel hers. I thought Bayley's was awful. Naomi's was okay. I mean, I wouldn't say it was great, but it was just kind of like, Bianca, I don't think Bianca said anything. Bianca's the best one on the mic out of all of them. And Shay didn't really say anything. So it's just kind of like, okay, well, this was awful.
I think WWE's hiding Bianca a little bit just because they know how good she is. And it's like, don't give the crowd any want for her to get a giant push right now. Like, they're still, you can tell they're still wanting the Jade stuff down the line. So they're just like, you know what? We're not going to give you any mic. We'll put you in the ring and you're awesome in the ring, but we're not going to let like people get back you so much right now and make us pivot because we still want you to do Jade.
I guess that's a good point because it would overshadow. I mean, you want the eyes on Tiffany here. Yeah. And that would completely overshadow that. You're still reminded that there are levels to it. Like I said, for as excited as everybody was with Tiffany getting the title, and we are still as well, you got to have her be a little bit more natural.
Yeah, this was not a great first showing, but that's okay. I'm really not hating on it. But we would get this Fatal 4 number 1 contender match, and as bad as the promo was, this was incredible. This match was awesome. You had all the story beats that happened throughout most of the match. They gave this match like 20-something minutes. It was a long-ass fight, and it was absolutely great. But the match would start, and of course, guess what happens? All of them are going to team on Nia because Nia has bad blood with literally all of them. So we saw that a lot of the time. Nia looked strong throughout the entire match. Like at the very beginning, Naomi and Bianca were teaming up because they're a tag team and they were trying to suplex her, but Nia ended up suplexing them. Bianca Belair at one point tried to suicide dive Nia on the outside, but she caught her, threw her against a barricade. But then at the same time, each and every woman, we basically throughout the match got one-on-one matches between everybody here except for Bianca and Naomi. And everybody got their showcase. So this was like the perfect way to do a Fatal 4-Way, especially given the time. All these women look phenomenal. But we get toward the end of the match here. Naomi and Bianca would end up having to square off in the ring, but they go, you know what? No. They go and try to take out people on the outside. But at this point, Candice LeRae had shown up to help Nia Jax. And by that, I mean she was just like, waving wind in her face, basically, because Nia was on the outside of the ring and she was tired and beat up. So Candice was just kind of there to help, emotional support, basically. But when Naomi goes to do a suicide dive to Nia because Bianca went for Bayley, Candice gets in the way and stops Naomi, and then Nia takes advantage of that, and she destroys Naomi real quick. And then they're back in the ring together. Bayley, Naomi, Bianca, and Nia. Nia gets thrown out of the ring. Bianca goes to attack Bayley, but Candice LeRae puts her hand through the rope and grabs her hair, her big ass braid.
Yep.
And she's tugging on it. She's tugging on her braid, and she ends up like whipping her head, right? To get the, what you do, you tug your head away, and she ends up whipping her partner, Naomi. And then when that happens, it ends up working into Bayley's favor because Bayley plants Naomi with the rose plant after getting Bianca out of the ring. Bayley pins Naomi 1, 2, 3. Wow. Did not see this coming. Bayley is now the number 1 contender against Tiffany Stratton. That match will take place next week on SmackDown. I'm going to give this whole thing a pop. It was absolutely fantastic. We'll talk about the match in a minute.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this as well. Like you said, a lot of time here, and that kind of made me nervous at first, but it was fantastic. Yeah. It was really good. They did this pretty much to a T of perfection. I thought this was a really fun match. Everybody looked good. Everybody got their moments. it doesn't do it justice because there was so much time and you know your little rundown. They're broken pins, and they had a really cool moment where Nia was on the ground. The other three all try to pin at the same time. The rest like, well, you can't do that. I can't do that. So I thought it was really cool. Surprised Bayley got the win here. Really surprised. I thought they would have just ran it back with Nia and Tiffany. But I guess it makes sense in the grand scheme of things because you do have Bayley versus Tiffany next week.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have much to say. When I saw Bayley on Raw on Netflix when she was talking to Adam Pearce, I thought for sure that just meant Bayley's going to head over to Raw right away. And so when this match started, I was like, there's no way, right? It's going to be Nia Jax. Well, Bayley gets the win here. That's great. They do it just right away next week on SmackDown. I'm guessing that means we're still going to get Tiffany and Nia probably at Royal Rumble, something like that. But it'll be a really good first title defense for Tiff. Hopefully they just give her a clean victory over a very, very, Bayley's one of the best, right? She's one of the best ever. So that'd be a great start. Couldn't be more excited for it.
Yeah, it'd be really give a chance to kind of solidify Tiffany. And the match is going to be good. Yeah. I think we all can agree this match is going to be good. Maybe like a nice little send-off to Bayley. Maybe Bayley does end up going to Raw after this. I'm expecting some sort of post-match shenanigans beatdown from Nia to where that kind of progresses that angle of it. And you kind of carry that on. Yeah, I'm down. It's going to be fun. Yeah. And the Fatal 4-Way match, like you said, go watch it if you can because, good Lord, it was long and full of great. Best match of the night. Oh, by far. We would get our main event, though. Cody Rhodes. Third woe of the night for him. Cody and Big Jim taking on Fatu and Tama Tonga. Something to note that Fatu they did his thing where he was walking to the ring in the back and they had a camera on him and he was cutting rhymes. He was rapping. Yeah. Rapping disses to Cody and Jim. I'm not going to rap. Sorry. A little disappointed, though. We didn't get any yeah. Nah, no yeah from Tama Tonga. I would have liked that at the end. Fatu was spitting bars. Just at the end. Big Jim, Jimmy Uso, he ran into Carmelo in the back, so it looks like there's unfinished business there. They didn't really say much, but there is unfinished business between them. But Cody and Tama Tonga would start the match, and Cody would dominate Mr. Tama Tonga, as you would assume. But there was a nice little moment when Cody Rhodes tags in Jimmy Uso, and Jimmy is absolutely destroying Tama Tonga until Fatu comes back in, destroys Jimmy, and we get that the entire commercial break. So the entire commercial break, and when we get back, Jimmy's getting destroyed. That's the entirety of this, the middle part of this match, is Cody Rhodes wants a hot tag. Cody Rhodes wants a hot tag. Eventually, Cody Rhodes get a hot tag because Jimmy Uso would go to the top rope after moving out of the way of one of Fatu's corner butt run things. Hip attack. I like saying the butt attack better. But he hops up on top. He hits a whisper in the wind. That's the nice moment I was talking about. But he hits a whisper in the wind onto Jacob Fatu. Cool stuff from Big Jim. Hot tagged Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes does his thing because he's Cody Rhodes. There's a point where he gets Tama Tonga, superplexes Tama Tonga, and Jimmy Uso does a Uso splash to Tama Tonga right after the superplex, which is absolutely great. Cody would get up. He did a Cody cutter on Fatu, and Jim would throw Fatu out of the ring, and then he would suicide dive him, and we're like, okay, this match is probably going to end here. No, Kevin Owens comes out. He's walking on the ramp, and Cody Rhodes, with no thought, just goes, okay, I want him. Yeah. Doesn't even look at Big Jim or anything. He just takes off for Kevin Owens. So they fight on the ramp, and they go to the back, just right up, like 10 seconds. They're fighting. Yeah, I think it's important to note, I guess, that Kevin doesn't, technically hit Cody, because if he does, it's a DQ, right? So Cody gets the punches in and goes on. So maybe that's what they were going for, I guess, technically here. But yeah, he just makes a beeline. Yeah, they beeline. Leaves Big Jim all by himself. Yeah, Big Jim, he tries his best here. And Big Jim turned into Slim Jim. He hits, he fares for a second. He hits Tama Tonga with a Uso splash. So he's cooking. 1-2, Jacob Fatu pulls him out of the ring. And Jacob Fatu versus Big Jim doesn't work out for Mr. Big Jim. He turns into Slim Jim, like you said. Fatu throws him in the ring, tornado DDT, hits him with a moonsault. 1, 2, 3. Fatu and Tama Tonga win. But this is far from over because Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens are fighting in the crowd. They come back out the side of the stage, and they're fighting just kind of in the corner. But, of course, there's a couple moving boxes or equipment boxes and a couple tables right next to them. So
they got to climb up there. So they climb up there. They're back and forth. Cody Rhodes ends up kind of just like running, shoulder tackling,
pushing. He just pushed.
He didn't even push him because he fell with him.
He falls late though. So he pushes him, and Kevin falls, and then Kevin falls, or then Cody falls after.
Yeah, they both fall through a couple tables, basically. I guess Kevin Owens hit first, but we end with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens going through the table. So more of that. Jimmy Uso loses the match, I guess, after Cody Rhodes throws him away. Basically, I'm gonna give this whole thing a drop. I thought most of the match was just slow, methodical work on Jimmy Uso. Which for a main event just doesn't really do it for me. And then the Kevin Owens stuff just felt like more, we've seen it over and over again for a few weeks, and this one just didn't do it for me. So I'm going to drop it.
Yeah, I'm dropping this as well. I mean, you look at the result, Bloodline 2.0 gets the win here. Kind of much needed. You kind of keep building them up. They're kind of still rising or elevating, and Solo on the other end is kind of coming down. So maybe we get that crash course. Solo comes back next week. No Solo this week. You look at it, Cody KO was kind of nice, I guess, because that could maybe separate Cody from Bloodline stuff. But the only thing I'm worried about is Jimmy getting pissed that, hey, Cody, you just left me out high and dry. So it's like, does that end up coming back to kind of haunt Cody, I guess? Does he get wrapped back into it some way, somehow? Match was fine, I guess. There was nothing really to speak of in terms of good stuff. It was just a match.
Yeah.
Like you said, kind of progressed stuff, but there wasn't anything really good or bad, in my opinion. I mean, even the table stuff at the end, it was just like, okay, cool.
I get that they keep involving Cody into the Bloodline stuff because that's furthering the story in terms of Kevin Owens, right? Kevin Owens sees him do this stuff over and over again, and it adds fuel to the Kevin Owens fire. But it feels like they already have such a nice feud, such a big rivalry, that at this point, we don't need Cody to be around the Bloodline anymore. Like, he's done enough with the Bloodline to have enough fire for Kevin Owens to fuel the rivalry for the foreseeable future. I feel like we just need to be at the point where Cody just completely separates. He doesn't talk to Jimmy or Jay or Paul or any of the Bloodline. Let's just focus on Cody and Kevin Owens. And then if Drew McIntyre and them get involved in other ways, maybe sure. But I just wish that they would just fully let Cody and Kevin Owens cook.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it doesn't make me want to see Cody Kevin anymore. Like, I'm already to the point where I want to see that. So his involvement with the Bloodline stuff, I'm just like, why? Why do you have to do any of that? You could just not do that. I guess maybe they were kind of in a pinch tonight. No Drew McIntyre tonight either. So maybe they kind of just threw this together and panicked. But it seemed like a waste of a main event, in all honesty. Didn't really progress anything. Like you said, the Cody Kevin stuff is so good. You kind of just would be nice to have that stand on its own 2 feet.
Yeah, let's just get Cody away from the Bloodline for a little bit, okay? That's all I'm doing. Little away from it, just a little bit.
It feels weird that we went to 3 hours and you could talk about how deep SmackDown's roster is, but yet I feel like we've seen this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a deep roster. Yet we saw Cody 4 times tonight, so it's like, come on. We got a whole extra hour here. Let's throw some people we haven't seen in a while out there, huh? Overall, we had 12 pops, 5 drops. That's around, like, I want to say 70%. I would say that's where this was, a C. This was a C SmackDown. 3 hours on Fridays is long, and we need some more talent, like you just said, to show up weekly for us to get really invested in this stuff. But the stories that we do have are good. We got a couple title defenses, so.
Yeah, I would say the main takeaway from tonight, like you said, SmackDown feels long. We got more matches tonight than we got on Raw, so that was nice.
Yeah.
But I would also argue that really you had some good tag team matches, but the one that really felt of importance was the Fatal 4-Way, and I thought that was obviously match of the night. But even the 2 title defenses, they were kind of just like, there were title defenses. You had Chelsea Green with her first defense, but nothing to write home about. Shinsuke LA ends in a DQ, and you're just kind of like, oh, okay. So it didn't really feel like great title defenses, but it is what it is. Even the Tiffany stuff, like, you got a smidget of that, just a little bit, but even that wasn't that great.
Yeah, I agree. But go watch the Fatal 4-Way match if you can, because that absolutely smacked. But follow us on all of our socials at codwrestlepod, COD WrestlePod. Listen to us wherever you get your podcasts at Spotify, Apple, YouTube, etc., wherever you want. We we watch along SmackDown, Raw. SmackDown tonight was so much fun with you guys. Raw has been fun. It's on YouTube right here where you watch our stuff. All you got to do is tune in when Raw and SmackDown are. We'd love to have you in there talking. It's a fun time. Let's spread the podcast, because as you all probably heard, TikTok is most likely closing down on the 19th, and that's a good way for small creators like us to expand. And so that's going to be a punch in the gut a little bit. So we're asking, word of mouth carries a long way. So please spread the word. We're trying to grow and make good content for you guys. So
just like and share with whoever you think would like this stuff. I mean, even if they're not a big wrestling fan, I mean, anything helps. Exactly.
I'm Will. That's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. We will see you next time.